Hey there, book dragons. Book dragons. Welcome to my channel. I'm Nat, your friendly neighborhood bookworm. Today, I've got a fury review for you. We're diving into the world of Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. A tale of romance, magic, dragons, and, well, a few surprises. I first noticed Fourth Wing on Booktube. I saw it everywhere, and I was intrigued. Also, it has 5 stars on Amazon, which is pretty rare, so the hype was definitely a factor in me picking up this book. But before I share my love-hate relationship with this book, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting bookish adventures. Now let's spread our wings and soar into Fourth Wing. So picture this: a land of mystique, a school for the magical elite, a life or death competition. And did I mention dragons? Yes, my fellow book lovers, we're venturing into a realm where dragons are more than just mythical creatures. They share a deep bond with the characters. But hold on to your dragon scales, because there's a lot to explore in this tale. Before we dive into the heart of this review, I want to give you a heads up. If you're not a die-hard romance novel fan, no worries. I'm right there with you. This isn't exactly my usual cup of tea either, but hey, we're all here to explore new territory, right? Just a little FYI, Fourth Wing isn't your typical YA fantasy love story. Nope, we're talking about an adult novel. It has more of a new adult vibe, and let's just say the F word was mentioned a lot. Okay, let's break down the plot. Meet Violet Sorengale, a bookish young woman whose dreams of becoming a scribe are about to go up in flames. Quite literally. You see, her mother, a fierce general, has other plans. She's thrust into Basquiat War College, a place where survival means mastering dragon riding or facing certain doom. Alright folks, let's dive into the juicy bits. What I actually liked: the heart-fluttering moments and the adrenaline-pumping thrills that had me utterly engrossed in Fourth Wing. First off, can we talk about the setting and the premise? I'm a sucker for a gripping school story. You know, the ones where the main characters navigate a labyrinth of politics, forging alliances with allies, and dodging those pesky enemies, all while juggling lessons and personal growth. Fourth Wing nailed that premise. It threw our heroine Violet right into the heart of Basquiat War College. The drama, the intrigue, it's like Hogwarts but with dragons. And speaking of dragons, the dragon and dragon riders dynamic, absolutely captivating. There's something about the bond between a rider and their fiery companion that tugs at your heartstrings. The chemistry, the trust, it's like a dance of flames. Oh, and that scene that had me raising an eyebrow and laughing. Let's just say there was a moment that left me fanning myself. Now brace yourselves, because I'm about to drop a spoiler-free bombshell. The twist at the end, it caught me off guard and kind of left me hungry for more. It's that intrigue that got me eager to snatch up the next book. And let me tell you, the action non-stop. There's no lull in this roller coaster ride. It's one wild ride start to finish. And can we talk characters? Some, I repeat, some of them seem believable, with motivations that I can get with. Alright folks, we've navigated the exhilarating highs, and now it's time to dive headfirst into the nitty-gritty, the lows that had me raising an eyebrow or two while flipping through the pages of Fourth Wing. So here are some things that had me scratching my head. Let's start with our main character, Violet. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for admiring a person's appearance, but Sometimes, it felt like Violet was on constant overdrive. I mean, I get it. People can be attractive. But girl, you think everyone's hot. I mean, honestly, same. Speaking of Violet, finding everyone hot, now let's chat about the writing. While the story had me hooked, there were moments when I wished for a smoother ride with better prose. You know, those times when a sentence or two left me cringing. Take this for instance. The scar that marks his eyebrow only makes him hotter, flaming hot, scorching hot, get you in trouble and you like it level hot. How many times can you say hot in a sentence? Ever had that feeling when you're reading and suddenly you're back in high school? Well, Fourth Wing occasionally took me on a stroll down memory lane, evoking those classic high school romance vibes. Now, I'm all for nostalgia, but sometimes I wished for a pinch more maturity in the mix. And that heist, it had so much potential. I was ready for a more elaborate scheme a la Leigh Bardugo's Six of Crows, but it left me yearning for a tad more orchestration. Now let's pause for a moment and address the magnificent stars of the show. The dragons, their majestic ancient creatures, with the story begging to be unveiled. Yet, it felt like we barely scratched the scales, or the surface, of their purpose and essence. Why do certain dragons choose their riders? What's their grand design? These are questions that, while they lingered, didn't quite get the spotlight they deserved. Okay, imagine this. Epic fantasy setting, dragons soaring above, magic weaving its tapestry. Sounds thrilling, right? Well, brace yourselves because Fourth Wing leaned a tad more toward the romance side of the spectrum, leaving the fantasy and plot occasionally hanging in the background like a shy wallflower. As for the romance, if you hoped for a believable transformation from actual enemies to friends to lovers, well, Fourth Wing was going for it, but the execution, let's just say it missed the mark a bit. The dialogue, though, did anyone else notice that every character seemed to talk in the same exact way? It's like they shared all the same dictionary of edgy vocabulary, quirks, and thought patterns. At one point, the author used the phrase, hot freaking mess. A little diversity in voice could have added a sprinkle of uniqueness to the mix. Let's talk about the spice. Ah yes, the steamy moments, the stuff that makes romance novels blush worthy. But let's say Fourth Wing decided to take things to the next level. Now don't get me wrong, steamy scenes have their charm, but while there was zero spice in the first part of the book, it seemed almost like an endless marathon once it got to the end portion of the book. Once they started, they kind of just didn't stop. Also, while we journeyed through this world of magic, the reasoning behind certain powers felt a tad generic. A little more depth behind why some characters could wield certain magic could have given these abilities a touch more enchantment. And that wraps up our journey through Fourth Wing. We've soared through the highs and navigated the lows, unveiling a new adult fantasy novel that's a blend of both familiar and some unique tropes. With Book 2, Iron Flame on the horizon this November, the adventure continues. For those who found a connection with these characters, I can feel the anticipation. I'll admit that intriguing twist at the end has left me hopeful for what lies ahead in the next book of the series. So let's talk ratings. My verdict, 3.5 stars peppered with a dash of 1.5 spice. So if you're curious to explore the realm of Fourth Wing, which I'll talk more about in my 24-hour reading challenge video coming up, or venture into its sequel, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more on this channel. Till next time!